Lawsman, I need to ask you...
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, she says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what...
I rather think she might be right. All canids are instinctively inclined to... And I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of... If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain... It may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing, frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger. As to where one might find a suitable substitute...
I don't recall ever seeing any that long.
And little wonder. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about...
Even so.
Good hunting, Clive.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Drake's fang is...
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He's been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also...
I don't suppose a single...
Huh?
Then I'll...
You
want... I don't...
I
will...
Farewell.
This one. Get him. Over here. Sick him. Got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off! Over here!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern.
Well,
A few.
carrot, and it, each there's a why, what, but it, and why take the and a.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion.
I am one.
And there.
And is up. Well, ready?
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Coming.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn...
There's talk that the Glassgate flood has finally spread.
Did you hear? The gates to heaven.
I want to see you. It's all right.
What am I going to do without Sweetwater and Oil of Talc?
Milady, I come back.
Gifts? Oh, my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you, to settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil, and to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him the man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution... It is rather fetching. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway...
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. Sid told and blamed himself for not being able... I don't know how it happened. Whether there was anything...
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in an ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate. Clive, we weren't...
I wasn't expecting to be, but it seems we... And though I doubt...
A star, Ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right bar.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from... Anyway, why are you the one here asking me a bit much
Something like that.
Same as always. Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander. Word is, he was probably knew that without Sid and when...
His death was hard on everyone.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw... And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as that, and you keep good...
Gob will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Station.
It's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. Hungry, Torgal? Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone... So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough. That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right. Now we know what you're after. I can see about getting...
Speaking of which, I brought one for later.
You can, aye. Oh, nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him.
Were you...
Lady...
Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow...
Well, precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. The Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realms dominate. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected.
He has seemed more...
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able...
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right. I will.
Back, are ya? What do you want? Not bad, if I do say so myself. Anything else?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen...
Ah, but she threw it.
Karen
Oh, I hope it wasn't so...
I'm sure you... Lady Karen, Goad tells me. Would you prefer the...
Mod deck? I may, but those were donated.
Of course not. Surely you would...
Oh, so you're a prince now? Fine. But... Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
Oh!
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it was the which is we bought past we set up to quit my but me and that was before fate stepped the magic and there was no
Couldn't you?
my fat wanted them. I couldn't and I could. He was true to throw away. I knew that.